Gentlemen of the jury, we have heard by her own admission that Chastity Spencer killed Carl King following a sustained period of blackmail. The defendant ascertains that this was out of self-defense, but I believe the evidence you have heard has irrefutably proven that this blackmail led directly to Carl's murder. Now, we have heard how the deceased threatened to reveal the truth of an affair between the accused and Mr. Murray, the partner of her niece. We've heard from pathology about the violence of the blow needed to kill, how the killing blow was one of great force. But equally, we have also heard of the love Carl had for Chastity, truly wanting a new life with the accused, and how, perhaps a man of many flaws, the deceased was also, in essence, a family man, good company, and capable of kindness. Significantly, we have heard that he had no real motive in threatening the life of the defendant. And finally, in using his love of her to lure Carl into a sham wedding, we have heard how Mrs. Spencer has already proven herself capable of exacting an extreme and extraordinarily cruel act of revenge upon the deceased. Now, my learned friend has tried to present the fact that the accused admitted killing Carl King as evidence of her innocence. But all this is proven is the depth of her guilt. Guilt felt, having callously taken the life of a man who simply stood in her way.
He fooled. Carl didn't love Chastity. He was dangerously and irrationally obsessed with her. This was a man who was so unstable, he had convinced himself that despite persecuting the accused with cruel threats and blackmail, she would still come to love him. Who was so deluded, he had already bought plane tickets, believing that on the day she was marrying someone else, Chastity would run away with him to start a new life. We have also heard that this obsessional behavior led him to acts of violence in the past. That Chastity's own niece, Deborah Dingle, was perhaps lucky not to be a further victim of Carl's rage. Despite all this, the prosecution has tried to paint a picture of Carl as, in essence, a family man. Yet even by his own brother's admission, we have heard just how violent and cruel the real Carl could be. Chastity has freely admitted that she may have struck the blow that ended Carl's life. She will have to live with the guilt of that for the rest of her life. But this was no vicious, premeditated assault. It was the act of a desperate and frightened woman whose only crime was to fall in love with someone she shouldn't. I urge you to acquit her.